Hello, everyone. It's me, your Flylady Kat, and we're live. Today, we're talking about just say no to extra commitments. And we're going to talk about that after I greet you. Let me open my curtains a little bit. It's a rainy afternoon here. Is that better? Yeah. And I just want to say hello to you. I'm so excited always to talk to you. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you've got any questions lined up for me. I particularly like it if you can um, make those questions kind of related to what we're talking about today. Okay? All right. Hello, Lisa. I'm so glad you caught me live too. I went to go pay for my post office box, the little post office box that I put below. Hi, Gretchen. Hi, Oh Happy Day, Janelle. Hey, Karen. 9:30 at night and you're making lunches? Woo! Mystical Heart, hello. I know Karen's in Ireland. Um, Isabel, hi Isabel, Mystical Heart. Hi Lori in Phoenix. Hello Donna Rucci. I'm so happy you're on here. Hey Yana, how are you? Um, anyway, hello. Sandy, hi. So I can't wait to talk to you about what we're going to talk about because a lot of people have a problem with that. Hi, Rachel. Hello, Patricia Simmons from Atlanta. I'm good. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Jackie. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling well too. Slajana, I hope that you are doing well as well. I'm so glad you're here with us live. Hey, Rachel Berry. Hi, Laura Katz. Everyone's doing great, I hope. And golly, somebody just subscribed to me. That's nice. Good afternoon, Liana. Hi, Julie Pena from Mexico. Hola, ¿cómo está usted? I don't know very much Spanish. Joanna, hi, from Louisiana in the swamp. Chomp, chomp. Okay, and Jana says hello. Okay, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. It's been a couple minutes, and I'm saying hello to everyone. I see your names going by. Great Spanish. Oh, great. Muy bien. um, okay, so let's talk about it. Have you ever, or do you now have, commitments in your life that you wish you didn't have? Have you? Let's talk about some of those commitments. Maybe you're on too many committees at church. Maybe you've got a house full of children and you also said you would teach Sunday school. Maybe you just got a new puppy. Maybe you went to work. There's lots of things that people make commitments to. But when you make commitments, once you've made that commitment, you have to honor that commitment. So the only thing you can do at this point is get out your journal and put it in there in your control journal or your daily planner. Put it in there and plan to have a successful whatever it is you committed to. If you have a dog or a puppy, you have to plan when you're going to train it, take it out, feed it, bathe it, take it to the doctor. It comes with a lot of commitment, and that's a long, long lifetime for the dog commitment for you. So if you haven't gotten one, think about that before you do. Have you committed to have more children and now you're pregnant and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a lot of work? That's okay. Children come with all the grace that you need to raise them, thank goodness. But it is a commitment. When you take on a husband, that's a commitment. When you buy a home, that's a commitment. Everything comes with its own little bit of work, right? So sometimes we get way over our heads with things. We are living way above our comfort zone by saying yes to too many things. We don't know how to say no. We don't want to be mean. I've made videos on this before, but I don't think I've ever done a live video on this. So don't, because you want to take care of yourself and your family and you prioritize those things, it's not wrong to say no, thank you. No, I'm not going to. No, and maybe even it's your budget and you've committed on your budget to spend, let's say $100 at the grocery store, and you've gotten there and you've spent $99 and change, and the lady says, would you like to contribute to the cancer fund? And you don't have any more money. You could totally get more money. You could put it on your card, whatever, but instead you say, no, thank you. Thank you so much for asking me. There's nothing wrong with that. No one pays your bills but you. No one spends the time in your life but you. So I want you to think about saying no a little bit. I want you to practice it this week. So if you're, and there's nothing wrong with saying yes, and it's honorable many times to say yes, but sometimes it's more honorable to say no for your family, for your own peace of mind, to be a better mother, to be a better person, to say no sometimes. Now, do you want to say no every time? Absolutely not. There are times you want to say yes, but sometimes you need to take other people into consideration. Maybe your husband needs to be talked with about this thing you're considering doing it. So maybe someone says, would you be on a committee at church? And you say, you know what? Let me talk to my husband about it and let me think about it for a little bit. It sounds like something I might like to do, but I really need to talk to him. And so you talk to him and he says, no, please don't do that. Don't you remember last year when you did such and so and you were so miserable? I don't want you doing that. Well, guess what you're going to say? Okay, I'm going to honor you, my husband, and I'm going to say no to church. It sounds counterproductive or it sounds counterintuitive or whatever word it is. Sounds wrong. Sounds like it should be something we want to do. And I'm not saying you don't want to do it. I always want to do things like that. I get very excited and Larry will say, please don't. And I don't. Because I have so many things in my life and I think about it when he brings it to my attention. But when I'm in the midst of something, it sounds like so much fun and I would be really good at that. And this would be a great way to contribute or whatever. Sometimes you just have to say no. And the thing that happens a lot of times when we say yes is that we wait to the very last minute because we're so busy and then we don't really turn in a good product. We really don't have a great class. We really don't have everything prepared like we should. And we've really made ourselves miserable trying to get it done. I don't care if it's sewing costumes for the brownies or making cookies for the bake sale. Sometimes we just have to say no. Okay, now I'm going to open this up for questions regarding your commitments. I want you to really start thinking about it before you make a commitment. Don't say no on the spot. Don't do that. Step back. Say it might be something I might consider. Don't let people pressure you into it. Go home and think about it. Pray about it. Talk to your husband about it, your children, whoever it's going to affect, and then make a decision together. Okay, questions. Any questions? Or what commitments have you made that you wish you hadn't made? I remember one, it was when my husband and I taught second grade Sunday school. When my daughter was a second grader, she was in the class. We had 35 students. We had 3 tables of boys and 3 tables of girls, all 7-year-olds. And my husband was the class bouncer. He kept them under control. And I'm the one who taught them their verses and all that. And it was every Saturday night I dreaded that. Even though I loved the children and I loved my church, I really dreaded it. And I wasn't the best person for the job, I don't think. We did it, but I don't think I turned out being the best person for the job. I was working full time and had children at home and had other commitments. I have to ask, how did you get so smart, Stacy? Oh, Stacy, I don't think that I'm particularly smart. I've been around a long time and I've heard a lot of things. And actually, in the Sidetracked Home Executives book that I love, which started me on this journey, one of the things they talked about was the same thing, learning how to say no. And I've always carried that with me because I am eager to say yes. And then I really regret that I said yes. I've taught classes, not just there, I've taught other classes at church, and I still kind of want to teach one right now. But I backed off from that, and so it's because I have too many other things, too many irons in the fire. Okay, next question. Anybody have something? Now just able to join in, but grateful to be here. Hi, Lynn Allison, glad you're here. Okay, anybody have any questions? If not, maybe that's all we need to talk about. Hopefully there's some coming. Let's see what's going on. It's kind of dark in this room, isn't it? A good topic, Liana says. Liana, do you have anything that you've said yes to? Let me just hear some of the things you guys have said yes to. What are some of the things? Please help me to say no to my husband when he plans a party at the last minute. That's very easy. You just say, I'm sorry, you planned a what? When? Did you ask me about this? Because it's going to require that you help me clean the house and that you give me extra money for the groceries that stays in our budget and that you find somebody to watch the children or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with having a party, and there's nothing wrong with him initiating a party. There is something wrong about not talking to you about it first. And so you just say, I need you to talk to me a little bit about it. We'll do it now because you've already committed, and once you committed, you got to do it. But I want you to know that this is the amount of work it causes me to do, and you're going to have to help me do that work. Plus, I have to want to have a party too. Sometimes I don't want to. I live here too. So you're free to say that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. No, not now, Jenna says. Julie Babcock, I've said yes to babysitting my grandchildren too often. I love them, but too much is too much. Absolutely. And you don't want to be the caretaker. You want to be the grandma, right? And so sure your kids know that. Aliana says, absolutely. I've said yes to babysitting when I knew I didn't have the extra time to do so. Being a stay-at-home mother makes people think you have a free day all day. That's true. It is absolutely true. I know I have worked and I have not worked. And when I didn't work, the school wanted me for everything. Everybody wanted me for everything. And it's like you had no free time because everybody was sucking out your time because you didn't put up a wall and say, no, I'm the CEO and this is my life, right? All right. Tracy said, I'm really struggling with this as a teacher as students request one-on-one appointments. How do you deal with naggers? You say, I have appointments scheduled for so many times a week or month or whatever, and there are so many slots, and I'm going to put it up here, and if you don't get the slot, I'm really sorry, but there's only so much of me. That's what you do. You're the CEO, girl. Joanna says, me too. I say no to babysitting my granddaughter. Right. Mickey says, I don't say yes very often. I recently said yes to some of my church secretarial duties. I hope I don't regret this. I will stay committed until the anxiety gets me. Or until the end of the job, maybe? Because that's what you committed to do the job. Hopefully it's not a forever job. I don't know. Slajana says, I have a problem with saying no. If I say no to my family, I feel guilty about it. My kids don't seem to have a problem with that, though. That's right. You know what? Feeling doesn't have anything to do with it. Feeling guilty, that's immaterial. We're not talking about feeling. We're talking about the reality of running your home and how much time you have for yourself and your family. And so when you say no, that's you can just take that little feeling and put it in a bubble and blow it away because it has nothing to do with anything. It's guilt that gets you to do things. That's all it is. And guilt is not a good enforcer. Okay. Donna Norris says, I have something that limits me from saying yes when I should say no. I get too exhausted and lose strength, so I call it my personal power outages. That's good. I'm sorry, I have a personal power outage. I'm not going to be able to do that. Outage. That's funny. Okay, what else? This is Diana Wolf. I say yes to way too much when my kids were little, I said, and I really spread myself thin. Yeah, and then you don't really get to be the good mom you really wanted to be or go do the fun things you wanted to do for yourself and your children. Karen says, very true about people thinking stay-at-home moms can do everything. I've been asked to take on child minding, but I said no. Good girl, Karen. I'm glad for you because you're living in your new strength. Karen's the one who gave us our name, Lions. She's living in her new strength, and that's a strength to say no. And is never mean, right? You're always firm but kind. Diana said, I spent more time organizing the events than enjoying them. That's right. That's 100% right. Wouldn't you rather organize something for your family and really enjoy it? Melinda Burns, thanks, Karen. Melinda, are you in Ireland as well with the Burns last name? I'm wondering. Or Scotland? Just saying. Like Robert Burns in Scotland. Okay, Julie Babcock. Pat Fisher said that when you say no, you are saying yes to you and your family. I think that's a great way to look at it. Did I miss that comment? That's a wonderful way to look at it. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Julie. Diana said rest and personal time, very important, sometimes non-negotiable even. That's right. I'm so proud of you girls. Melinda, for giving us our name. Oh, no, I'm in Texas. Okay. I wonder if your relatives or your husband's relatives came from the Scotland area or somewhere in UK. Jenna, and Karen's in Ireland, but Jenna says, my mom is an overcommitter and makes me feel bad if I'm not committing to things as well. but I've learned to say no. She is always miserable and complaining about things she has to do. That's right, and you don't want to be that martyr, right? That martyr. My mother was president of the Women's Club. It was a big deal here. And one day she told me, before I ever read that book about saying no, she said, if you say yes, they will let you. Because she was the same kind of person, and she learned once she was the president, there was just so much of her to go around. And she said, if you say yes, they will let you. And that, remember that. That's a very wise saying. Okay. Yes, we are all living in our new strength, Karen says. Sunshine and rain. I've heard a lady say, get sunshine to do it when she's not doing anything. I work harder now than when I was working out of the home. Get sunshine to do it. She'll do it. That's like, get Mikey to eat it. He'll eat everything. Or whatever that commercial. You probably are way too young to remember that. It was a Life commercial, Life cereal. But yeah, sunshine. So you have to say, no, sunshine won't do that. I have a get your calendar out. Carry your calendar with you, your planner, and say, no, I've got every one of these days is filled. I have a little bit of room here, but that's for me. So I'm sorry, I don't have any time. You don't have to show it to them. Never give a reason. Never give a reason. You don't have to explain yourself because no one really cares anyway. They just want you to do it. So you don't have to give a reason, but you have to have a reason for yourself so you don't feel guilty. So you look at it and say, maybe I could do it. Maybe that's something I really want to do. And maybe you could. Another saying is when you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. Absolutely correct, Diana. Lydia, sometimes my husband thinks that I have to say yes to run his errands because I'm at-home mom. She said, you don't work. Remember that you have a day when you can run errands, and that's Thursdays, your errand day. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with running an errand for him. So if he says, will you pick up my shirt from the dry cleaners? Absolutely, on Thursday when I run my errands. Would you go drop this off to so-and-so? I'd love to do that for you on Thursday when I run my errands. One day a week. Okay, Melinda, I remember Mikey. Oh, you're my age, Melinda? Really? Yay, I'm in good company. Donna Norris, I got pregnant when I was 40 with my first and only child. I would get extremely tired all of a sudden. I just had to lie down or sit down where I was for like 5 minutes. That happens to young women too. Pregnancy is a woo. Brenda, sorry. What I've learned is no is a complete sentence, no explanation. That's right, Brenda. No explanation needed. Sheena Carver, hi Sheena. I discovered that it's possible to be too helpful and too agreeable. I have to fill my bucket first. That's right, remember? You got to breathe the air before you can help other people, right? On the plane with the thing dropping down, Donna Norris. So I learned how to just take short rests whenever necessary. Good girl. Karen says, good point about having your planner filled in. I used to have no plan, and so basically if someone asked me to do something, I felt I had no reason not to. Different now, that's right. Because when you look in there, even though some of the stuff isn't things you really have to do, it'll be your meal plan or what clothes you're going to wear, or that you're doing your stuff in the morning, which is only a little bit of time. But when you keep going, you just know you've done all these things, and you had this little afternoon planned for yourself, and you wanted to really read that couple of chapters of your book or talk to your friend you hadn't talked to in forever. Okay, Donna, don't you just want to slap someone that says you don't work? No, I don't want to slap them, but I know what you mean. Hola, Antonia, I haven't seen you in a while. I missed you, Gail. Did you say something that I missed? Could you put it back in there? Or Larry, can you copy paste it? I'm glad you're back giving comments again. Larry got that fixed. Rachel, how do you react to people that take advantage? How do I react to people that take advantage of me? You don't react to that. You simply don't react to that. You don't let them take advantage of you. The end. We're strong. Gail said, it's a good sign that it's not what God has for you. I've taken a paper plate and sectioned it off for all I'm doing, a visual for too much on my plate. I love that, Gail. Thank you, Larry, for reposting that. People think I don't work because I work from home. Ugh. Oh, I know, Joanna. That's even worse. And that's what I do, too. I work from home, and people think you don't work. And are you home? Can you come do this with me? No, I'm working. And that's what I say, not mean. And I really want to do it with you. but I could do it, at 3 in the afternoon. Can you do it then? And sometimes I just say, like on the weekend, my daughter asked me yesterday, will you ride with me to drop my granddaughter off at like, it's like a Bible study, and then we'll go get a coffee and then ride around and then go pick her up. She's preparing for her first communion. And I said, I would love to. And Larry said, no, we have, pot roast in the pot, and it's gonna. I said, it'll be fine. I'll be home by 5. We'll have dinner then. And it turned out my daughter's boys and husband were out of town at a ball, at a baseball tournament, so they weren't going to be home till 9. So she ate dinner with us, which was great. So sometimes those things turn out wonderful, and I had a wonderful ride with her, and Larry got to watch the races. Nothing wrong with that. It's because sometimes he'll say no, and I'll override that because I'm the CEO of my time, and I know that I give him quality time. You know what I mean? So you have to just make your own decisions sometimes. All right, my ladies, we've been on here for 21 minutes. Hi, Dominic. Any more questions? Any more concerns? What are some of the things? Have you gotten a puppy lately? That to me is like, I want people to really think about that. That is a huge commitment. And that means your morning routine changes, and your afternoon routine changes, and your evening routine changes, and your expenditures change. I've gotten where I don't answer the phone. I just don't have time to sit on the phone. Sunshine, I do the same thing sometimes. I just can't answer it. Okay, here's somebody who got a puppy. Dominic got a puppy last week. All right, a lot of work. I love puppies, but it's a lot of work. All right, guys, is there anything else? Y'all are such good examples of compromise in a marriage. Thank you, Joanna. Jenna said, I used to think I wanted a puppy, but I've learned that I can't commit to pets. It's just not for me. I love dogs and pets, and I like birds and turtles and fish and dogs and cats and canaries. I like it all. And chickens, but I don't have anything right now because I take care of my parents one full week. So there's no one here but Larry, and he's just not Mr. Pets. I'm the pet person. So one day I'll have maybe some chickens. I'd really like to have laying hens, and maybe a dog and a cat. That's my goal, but not right now. I want to commit, and that'll be after we're done traveling, because we're going to be traveling too. I want to commit to start working from my home. Would you make a video for that? I've made videos on working from your home, Lydia. I have. You have to treat it and maybe it's in Patreon. I'm not sure, because I only make videos on Patreon for individual things. That's $5 a month. I think it's well worth it. The videos I make here are your dailies, and then I'll sometimes I address topics during our live videos. But I do have videos on working from home, and I believe it is on the Patreon. You might want to go over there. My mom's doctor's appointment always throws off my schedule. Do you not know it in advance that you can plan around it, Antonia? I have to do that. Dickie, this is a great subject. I love animals, 2 dogs. Linda says, I have a zoo. And Diane says, I have a zoo. Newest acquisition is 2 ducklings. Ducks are great for keeping the bugs out of your garden. I love that. Hiya, Roxy. Julie, I feel stretched so much. I have parents and a grandma and kids and grandkids that all want my time and energy. I love them all, but I feel so stretched. Julie, stop right where you are. Get your planner out and plan. And then say to yourself, how often do I want to spend quality time with my grandma? How often do I want to spend quality time with my parents? How often do I want to spend quality time with my children? Plug that in. For my kids, what we've decided to do, my adult children and grandchildren, I just wasn't seeing them. And so one Friday a month, we have a family dinner at my house. And so it's going to be this Friday. We're having a Southern meal. My daughter requested it. It's her birthday dinner. We're having lima beans with ham over rice with corn muffins, sweet potatoes, and was there anything else? Yeah, and for dessert, her favorite is a homemade German chocolate cake. And so I'm making that, and I'm staying on Weight Watchers. And I'll be following my Weight Watchers, and I'll probably address it on my Weight Watcher video if that's something you're interested in. But that's how we connect, and they really look forward to it because they get to come home after work on Friday and come to Grandma's house. The kids are excited to come to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and my kids are happy to see us. And mainly, the truth is, Larry and I just sit and observe because the little grandchildren have such fun together, all the cousins. And they have I have a spare bedroom upstairs that has their stuff in it, and they love to congregate in there. And it sounds like a herd of elephants upstairs. And then Larry and I just sit and watch my two girls and their husbands chat at the table. They're just so loud and crazy, but it's so much fun, and they just love it. And it's something that I do for them. So be mindful of your time. Now, if you have people who are sick that you're taking care of, that's a whole different story. And then sometimes you might need help because one person isn't enough. That's why my two sisters and I all take care of my parents together. Okay? All right. Let's see, what did I miss? A whole bunch of questions popped in here. I'm going to read them real quick. Rachel said, thanks, I want to say yes. We all want to say yes. Norma's happy about the ducks. More with my kids, that's right. Larry put our Patreon link on. That's fun. Oh, Larry and I we went fishing on Friday, and I made a video for us under Kat and Mr. B. You might enjoy seeing that. The link is down there too. Rachel's continuing her thought, but sometimes no comes out too often. Yeah, some people are more no. They say no first. Larry, Mr. B, as wonderful as he is, for a long time would say no first. And he would eventually change to yes, but the no always came out first. And now he's changed, and he doesn't say no or yes. He thinks a little bit, and then a lot of times he'll say yes. Sometimes he'll say no, just like me. And that's fair. Let's see. How old is who, Brenda? What are you asking? Oh, my daughter, she's going to be 37. That's my baby girl. She's going to be 37 on April 18th. Donna said, ducks and geese all really make great burglar alarms. Yes. Oh, you're welcome, Sheena. I'm glad you were here for the live. Patricia Simmons, I always have no questions because you always know what to talk about at the right time. Well, that makes me feel good. Thanks for that comment, Patricia. Julie said, thank you so much for your ideas. Schedule might be just what I need. That's right. Crystal Moreno, I try to plan, but I find I plan too much throughout the day. What do you suggest to help yet still get everything done? Stop planning throughout the day. Your planning happens on Sunday night when you plan out your whole week, or when you're making your menu on Wednesday and you have planning a desk day. And then you plan. You can plan a little bit more on Sunday night and finish it up. That's when you plan. You don't plan the other times of the week. You're implementing your plan. That's what you're doing. So stop, think, and do your work. Then you've got free time. If you go ahead and do it, don't let your little brain tell you stories that aren't true, that things take too long. And the reason that you plan so much is probably because you're a little bit of an ADHD kind of person or a perfectionist. Either way, I'm a super planner. I would plan all day. It's the most fun thing I can do. Larry calls it raising chickens on paper. Mr. B calls it that. Because it's fun. But you know what? You don't get a thing done when you do that. You just waste time. Do you have any plans on coming to Australia when you travel? I do. Wouldn't that be great? And I'm thinking what I'm going to do, no matter where I go, is have a little convention for everybody to come in that area, and we'll have a meeting. Wouldn't that be fun? It might not be a great big meeting, just a little something at maybe a local hotel. Would that be fun? Okay, we're rolling tide all over the place. Shark recipe? Ha ha, Gail. We didn't keep those. Julie loves Patreon. Donna Norris said, roll tide, Big Al shows up. Okay, 5 kids and a dog. It's just me looking after my disabled daughter 24/7, but I've learned to say no to most other commitments. D. Well, 24/7 is a huge commitment. It's every minute of the day and night. So yeah. I was just kidding. I enjoyed the fishing video. Thanks, Gail. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I haven't even popped over there to see who's been watching that. Melinda, thanks so much. I love your help and advice. I'm one of your new patrons too. Thank you, Melinda. So happy to have you as a patron. Karen said, I would plan all day long too. My treat is to go to the coffee shop with a notebook. Isn't that just the most fun thing? I know, we're so crazy, right? I would love to meet you in person. I would love to meet you too, Slajana, in Australia. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Now is not the time, but at some point I'm going to be traveling, and I'm going to be having those little meetings. I think that'd be so much fun. Okay, Dickie said that would be great. All right, girls, I'm going to run. It's been 30 minutes. I hope that you had a really good time here today. I always have a good time with you. You make me laugh, you make me think, and I feel like I'm being an encourager, which is such a blessing. So I hope that I am, and I hope that you always remember that you are beautiful. Mwah. Bye.